Hello my friend, in this video we'll learn the tuples definition, how we can create tuple, how we can add elements, how we can extract elements, how we can compare between two tuples, and finally we'll learn the tuple methods. So if I back to the first one, which is the definition, actually the tuple in Python is much like a list, except that it's immutable or unchangeable, which means that once we create a tuple in Python, we cannot modify it. Also, the tuple is ordered collection, and to create tuple in Python, we can do it by adding collections elements enclosed within round brackets. And now let's see how can we create tuple in Python. So now let's try to create new tuples. So my tuple, then I have to use, as I mentioned, rounded brackets. Then I will write the numbers and I will write duplicated values and different type of data. For example, orange, then black. So if I try to print my tuple, then I will get it. And as you can see, in Python and tuple, the duplicated items are allowed. For example, here 34, 34, 4, 4, and 3, 3. So now if I want, for example, to get a specific item, so I have to write this command. So my tuple, then square brackets, and then the item, and after the index, then I will get the item. So for example, if I want first item, then 0. So my tuple. So as you can see, I get the first number, and don't forget that the indexing starts from 0. Also, I can get the last number, or I can start from the last item in tuple by using negative indexing. So for example, if I write my tuple and minus, for example, 1, then I will get the last item, which is black. For example, minus 2, then I will get the orange. Also, with tuple, I can use slicing. For example, if I want to get subtuple, then my tuple, and I have to write the starting, for example, from the index 1. Then I want, for example, the index 5. Then I have to enter the index 6, because with slicing I will stop before the destination, before the destination with one step. So here 6, then I will stop in the index 5. So let's see. So here, as you can see, I start from the index 1 here, which is 6, then 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 34. And also we can use with tuple to extract the items. For example, if I want to extract all the items of tuple, then I can use for loop. So for example, with the same tuple, for item in my tuple, then print item, and now I will get all the elements in my tuple. So as you can see, 45, 6, 4, 3, 5, etc. And the last one, black in my list, in my tuple, sorry. And as I mentioned, the tuple unchangeable or immutable, which means I cannot modify on its items. So for example, if I want to, let's say the first one, my tuple, then 0 equal, let's say try to edit tuple, then I will get error. And as you can see, tuple object doesn't support item assignment, which means I cannot update the items in my tuple. And now let's move to try with tuple method. So for example, my tuple equal rounded brackets, then the items, then chubby, and here is my tuple. Now I can, for example, if I want to use with tuple method, let's say count, and count method will return the times of item or duplicated items in the tuple, which means if I entered, for example, if I want my tuple, then dot count, and I want, for example, 34, then I will get how many times 34 was duplicated in my tuple. So here I think let's try with number 3. Number 3, 1, 2, 3. So I will get 3. For example, if I try it with number 4, then I will get 2. So the count method will return how many times the item was duplicated in tuple. Also, there is another method which is index. And index, for example, if I entered, let's try my tuple dot index, then here I will enter the index, then I will get the item, the item which stored in this position. For example, 3, then I will get 0. Let's try, for example, with Jabi, then I will get 10, which is the last item. Let's try, for example, with random item, then I will get error. And this error says that X not in tuple. And finally, I will finish with the comparing with tuple. Actually, in Python, we can compare between two tuples. For example, let's say we have my tuple equal 1 and 3 and 1000, and my tuple 1 equal 2 1, then 500, then 1. And now, if I want to compare between these two tuples, then the Python will start with comparing with the first item for each tuple. So here we'll compare with 1 and 1. So here the two values are equal. So then we'll move to next item. Let's see. For example, my tuple, then here, if the result true, then I will get true, and false if it's false. So here it's false. Then my tuple 2, a 1, less my tuple, it's false. And that's because here is my tuple 1 and here is my tuple. So 1 and 1 are equal. Then the Python will move to the next one, which is 3. 3 and 500, then 500 greater than 3. Then we'll return false and we'll stop. And that's it for the comparing in tuple. And actually that's all about the tuple. How can we create tuple, how we can extract elements, either one element or all the elements or sub-tuple. Also we tried with updating item, but actually because the tuple is immutable or unchangeable, so that's impossible. We cannot do it. We cannot change the items. Once we create the tuple, then we will not be able to modify it. So I'm sorry for this mistake. Actually I forget to mention how can we add new items to tuple after we create it. So now let's try to create new tuple. Then for example, so my tuple, then now if I want, for example, to add new items, so I can do it like this. For example, my tuple then the item, for example, make it 5, then I have to put this comma. So now if I try to print my tuple again, so as you can see, for example, another one, let's try to add many items. So for example, 5 again, 7, 8, 55, 555. So now I will try to print it. So as you can see, so like this we can add new items to our tuple. And as you know, this sign mean here, which means my tuple equal to my tuple plus the new item, which is 5. For example, if I wrote it like this, my tuple plus, for example, 9, then as you can see. And that's it for add new items to my two tuples in general. I hope this video was useful. Thank you for your watching. If you like it, please like the video and subscribe me. Goodbye.